All right, what's up, family? Soul 1063 is Koolout in the afternoons. And on the, you can see his face, ladies and gentlemen. It's not mine. It's that brother right there. Ladies and gentlemen, wherever you are in our digital landscape, put your hands together, show some love for Tank. Yeah.
Come on, man.
Hey,
yes.
Man, the new single. So we've been playing it here at the station. Okay, first question I have to ask is, how did you come up with the concept to use Maxwell's A Woman's Work? Where did this whole idea come from?
The song had played, and I was like, man, if I can flip this hook, because hip hop guys do it all the time.
Okay.
They flip R&B music or old hip hop music all the time. Take the hook, rap a couple verses, they got a hit record. They do it all the time.
Okay.
And I'm like, why don't we do that? How come we never do that? And I was like, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do it. And so I'm sitting with this hook. Maxwell brought it to us. Kate Bush, the originator, God bless her. She cleared it for me. She's never cleared this song. She did that for me.
Okay.
And I don't have a song. All I have is a hook. And I'm like, I can't figure this out. And it's got to be right, because what I'm touching is kind of untouchable.
Okay.
It's kind of untouchable. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So,
because that's a hot joint. Like, you going behind Mac, that song is hot. I was
monstrous.
Like, when I first heard it, I said, wait a minute. That's not Maxwell.
So I'm sitting in the house. This is at the beginning of quarantine, like at the very, very beginning, right before quarantine starts. And I'm sitting there, my wife is laying into me for something. I had done something. Maybe I followed somebody on Instagram or wasn't supposed to follow, and likes pictures or wasn't supposed to like. You know how it goes. And my wife, who is very emotional, you know what I'm saying? She was like, I can't even cry right now. Like, you so ridiculous. This is just stupid. I can't even cry right now. You know I'll cry at the drop of a dime. And I'm looking at her, I'm like, that's the song. I should be crying, but I just can't let it show. Like, she's talking to me. All the things you should have said that you never said. All the things that you should have done that you never did. I said, that's it. That's the magic. And I said, now the verses are me pleading, and the hook is the woman fed up, done emotionally, has no emotions left for this situation. And when you find yourself in that place, fellas, it's a very bad place. Very bad. You got to sleep with one eye open, and you got to make sure she's not cooking grits. That's what you got to make sure of.
Right.
And so that was the birth of it, man. And I said, I think this is going to be special. And here it is.
Ladies and gentlemen, this single is called Can't Let It Show. And I know a lot of people are asking, it's like, why did he use Maxwell? But that's dope. And I'm sure, how did Maxwell feel with saying, redoing his song? Because like you say, it definitely was it's a song that if you're going to redo it, you gotta be on point. You can't be,
I talked to Maxwell before it dropped, and I was trying to give him the first listen, but he was in, Maxwell's in his zone creating.
Okay.
And Maxwell's zone is the zone you don't really mess with. You don't infringe upon the zone. There are people with English accents standing at the door of Maxwell's zone saying Maxwell will not be available for the next 7 days.
No.
So you can't reach Maxwell. But the blessing is that Kate Bush, the originator of the song, she sold millions of records with this song.
Right.
She gave me her blessing, and we ran from there, man. We were. I mean, we had been chasing her down for months. The trail went cold, and then out of the blue, she called and cleared the record. So
what Maxwell didn't have to clear, Kate Bush had to.
Maxwell covered her song.
Okay, I got you.
So he didn't have to get a clearance because all proceeds go to her. I used a piece of her song, so the percentages needed to be, I would say, negotiated, but Kate told me what she wanted, and that's what it was.
Hey, well, look, I understand the game, but it's a dope song, man. R&B, you out here doing your thing, man. So is there a song that you would like to redo since you did this one? Is it something that we might hear from you more now?
You know what? Actually, yes. You know what I mean? I'm going to do more of that because, the music that was important to me, the music that raised me, I want the nuances of that music to help raise the next generation, you know what I mean, to help inspire I encourage the next generation. And the only way to do that is to bring the spirit of that music back into 2021. If it was the 80s, if it was the 90s, you know what I mean? To bring it back. And so, yeah, I'm gonna be doing a lot more of that. I'm gonna be doing a lot more of that, man. And I think it's dope that now we have kids that now buy vinyl, you know what I mean? Kids that are now into, you know, all of these retro things. And so, you know, why not the music as well? You know what I mean? So yeah, I'll be tapping in.
Well, you know, somebody once said that, you know, fads and trends and everything sort of repeats itself throughout history.
Right.
So I can see that. You were doing an interview, man, and you were talking about R&B, the place of R&B. Do you think R&B is a acquired taste now? Because it doesn't seem like R&B is as strong as it used to be. Like in the 90s, you know, you had a plethora of it. Where do you think it stands at now?
Well, I think the only thing we're missing right now is mainstream radio. And I'm praying that that'll change. You know what I mean? I'm praying that the people who control mainstream radio will start to see more of the value in the music that heals and find the balance between the music that heals and the music that destroys, if you understand what I'm saying. Okay. Like seeing her and seeing Jasmine Sullivan and even The Weeknd when he feels like it does R&B music, seeing that at the Super Bowl, let me know that, okay, it's coming around. It's getting ready to be our time again. And I think it's needed. I never asked that, you know, I never bash on anybody being successful. I never bash on what you're being successful with. Okay, You're a successful drug dealer. Okay, rap about your drug dealers. Okay, you're successful. You beat a murder rap. You want to rap about that? Hey man, rap about that. Do your thing, right? I love that. But I don't want there to be an imbalance to where the only thing that they know about Black people in the mainstream are those things. What about our love for our families? What about our love for our kids? What about love, period, as it pertains to Black culture? Why can't the love that a Black man has for his people be as mainstream as his love for the hood? I just want balance. And so I think we're getting to a place to where we're starting to, you know, people are starting to join the fight with us.
It's interesting you say that, because coming, you know, from a brother from your industry, your perspective, because you're in a space that a lot of people don't get a chance to really see. You see the world a lot different because you are affecting, influencing, and inspiring a lot of people. Music for you is so much more to the average listener. It's like, I enjoy it, I like it, we get what we get from it. But do you think our society has lost some love these days?
Well, I think that a lot of times you follow what you see.
Does it seem like our world is angrier?
Oh, well, yeah, because for some reason, here's what happened, right?
Okay.
You used to couldn't monetize hate. Like there didn't used to be a platform for hate. If there was, there were very far and few in between. And you could pick them out. You knew what it was. Oh, that's trash. You don't want to do that. And this is that, and you don't want to do that. You know what I mean? Okay. There used to be formats that would say, no, that's hateful. No, that's not uplifting. We're not going to play that, or we're not going to show that, or we're not going to do that.
Okay.
But since the analytic on hate generates revenue, brands started seeing the value in it. Sponsors started seeing the value in it because people showed up. The numbers said that when he did this very ridiculous thing, 1 million people showed up. When he did this very heartfelt thing, maybe 1,000 people came through. And they said, oh, we need to shift our model and where we're investing our money, because it looks like the people are showing up for the ridiculousness. Shout out to Sterling. They're showing up way more for the ridiculousness than they're showing up for the straight and narrow. And we should invest in that. We should investigate that and see where it goes. So now, where you used to have, case in point, let's say Wendy Williams.
Okay.
Her first radio show.
Okay.
She was one of a kind.
Some people will compare her to the female shock jock. She was out there, absolutely.
You could, but you can name who it was.
Yeah, exactly.
In those times.
Yeah.
You could pick them out on one hand.
So would you say
Now,
about that time is when music also started to sort of pinpoint, this is what sells, this is what moves?
so imagine this. Imagine an R&B. We'll correlate it. Imagine an R&B song, love, all these other things, forever my lady. It took 700,000 to make this album. You know what I'm saying? And then that's before we roll out. That's before we go to radio. That's before we do marketing. That's before anything.
Right.
And then I got this song from this kid in the gutter talking about how we used to sell rocks and how we shot up the hood. That song cost us $5,000. We sold 1 million on both. Let's look at the profit margin.
Business decision, understood. Yeah.
So music people were pushed out, and people who could manage money got pushed in, because you also have to remember that music people don't own the record companies. Record companies are just owned by billionaires who want to make money, or lawyers who, it's been finagled. Like when you say when Berry Gordy owned the label, it was different. It was Motown. It was music. It was fashion. It was integrity. It was all of these things. But when music got out of music people's hands, it became about money, and whatever is going to generate the money, that is what we are buying. That is what we are investing in. So once love started being a little too expensive for the bottom line, that's when we got pushed aside.
It sounds like that needs to be on a t-shirt, when love got too expensive for the bottom line. Like, that's such a hard statement right there, even though that is such a hard statement. Wow.
Yeah.
Man.
So we're fighting, but we're fighting our way back, because now what I used to tell people all the time is that we got to fight fire with fire. If they're putting out 10 songs a month, we got to put out 10 songs a month. If they're putting, but a lot of times singers need a writer, and writers need a producer, and you know what I'm saying? And so all these pieces have to come together, and producers need a musician, right? You know what I'm saying? But the hip hop guys, all need is one guy with one finger on an MPC. That's it.
Yeah.
Different. So now we've learned to be more self-sufficient. Now you have more guys who can produce. Now you have more guys that can write. Now you have more guys that can sing. Now you have more guys that can engineer. They can do it all. They're doing it at their homes. They're doing it, you know what I'm saying, in the basement. They're doing it wherever. And now we're starting to get competitive, because we don't need to spend the bank in order to create our thing, you know what I'm saying, in order to create our content. So now it's starting to get competitive. And once we get into that space to where we understand how to make it competitive for the bottom line, we'll be back.
Interesting. You played New Edition, man. You did good in the movie, man, playing the exec. Your acting chops, Tank. I see you moving up there, brother. I see you moving up there. But life sometimes imitates art and vice versa. How far are you away from actually starting your own and sort of grooming some of these new artists coming up? Because I would love to see an R&B male group out here really doing it, man. But everybody's solo, like the whole thing of unity. I was just talking about, I had seen a couple of shows, and I want to ask you this question. Besides your show, who has one of the best shows to see? And I'll say one that impressed me was when I went and saw Bruno Mars. His whole band. Incredible. I was like, yo, and that was something you saw in the 70s, whole band dancing. Man, I was like, everybody needs to see this, especially people who want to get in front of these people and be on stage, man. But for you, who would it be for you?
Bruno Mars. I will go with you with Bruno Mars.
Okay. I
will go with you on that. And incredible show. I took my daughter to see it. And I was wild. I was like, wow.
Yes, I was. Yeah.
Energy, young man. I'm gonna tell you another one. This is probably gonna throw you off. Chris Stapleton.
Never seen him in concert. Never.
Never.
Is he really?
Listen, man. First of all, he changed guitars every song.
What?
He did 2 hours, changed guitars every song.
2 hours, changed guitars.
Changed guitars every song. Never left the stage. Didn't use the bathroom, didn't change clothes, nothing. Just change guitars. Okay? Wow. And then I'm gonna give you the kicker.
All right.
He sang Aretha Franklin Do Right in the right key in his chest. I wanted to fight him.
I
wanted to fight him.
Wow, yo, Chris Stapleton.
He's
wow,
a monster.
Brother. Man, brother.
Monster.
So when you see something like that,
I don't care what genre of music you in.
Uh-huh.
Bro, I don't care what genre of music you in. You see Chris Stapleton.
And so for an artist like you, when you see that, you like, oh, I gotta up it. I gotta get in there. I gotta go. Like that inspires you. That inspires you. Like, dang.
Absolutely. Yo. Listen, I'm backstage with him, and I'm like, bro, I don't know what's in your beard, but whatever's in your beard, just cut off a piece of it and send it to me.
I'm putting it on my list. Chris Stapleton. I gotta see this dude in concert. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Amazing, bro.
Man. All right. So the new single, ladies and gentlemen, we're talking to Tank. Can't Let It Show. When is the new album out, Tank?
Late spring, early summer. You know, we're able to let the analytic dictate, you know, when it's time to push that button, because people are, I mean, they're asking for more, and we just gave them this, and they're already running this up for me, man. So first of all, thank you to everybody supporting me, man. The support is so crazy. I've never come out of the gate like this with a record. This is a first for me. So we're really watching the terrain and seeing how we need to go. You know what I'm saying? Letting that dictate how we push this album out. It's called R&B Money. R&B is expensive. R&B's getting its place back. R&B is lucrative. R&B will give you a 20, 30 plus year career. And we're going to make sure we let people know that. You know what I mean? We're going to put that idea back in the atmosphere. Don't turn your back on R&B. It's still a place for us.
Music affects us in so many different ways, man. It's just, you know, I would love, like I say, I look forward to hearing new music from you and everybody else. And, you know, it's going to be interesting to see. I guess maybe this forces individuals like yourself and other R&B artists to really create, you know, to really figure out, you know, what will hit. Yep. Now, let's touch base real fast. I know you don't got a lot of time on the TD Jakes thing. So now the acting with the TD Jakes anthology, what's this one?
Beautiful, beautiful opportunity, man. TD Jakes producing a series of films from the books Seven Deadly Sins.
Right.
And you know, Lust is the thing. So you know, they're shooting the movie Lust. Quite naturally, they call me Tank. You're very lustful. We'd like to put you in this movie. I'm in it. You know what I'm saying? So I went to one of my guys, Keith Neal. He called me, man. He said, I got this part that could be really dope for you. I know you're transitioning into acting and stand-up and all of that. This could be a good first move for you in 2021, man. And I read the script. Shout out to Tobias Trevelyan, Carrie Hilson. You know, it just came together, man. And I mean, when you guys see this film, April 10th on Lifetime, Lust, April 17th is Envy. It was just a dope moment, man. Every day coming to set was just magical, man. We did something
brother,
really
I see
cool.
more and more parts from you, brother. I really do, man.
Yeah.
Continue on. I mean, when you're on the screen, you translate and you come off well with your characters. It looks inviting. You look good on the screen, and you know, so you know, continue blessings. Which is more challenging for you, the music or the acting?
Well, I think the challenge in the acting and in the stand-up is that I'm not the guy. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm very much a pup. You know what I'm saying? I'm very much a baby in this world, and I have a whole lot of proving to do, which is the challenge. You know what I'm saying? Like I got a lot of work to do so that I can, just because I'm friends with Jamie Foxx doesn't mean we're on the same level. Just because I'm friends with Kevin Hart doesn't mean we're on the same level. And so I have to grow so that I can be in a conversation with them and not just be the homeboy hanging out with them. You know what I'm saying? And so that challenge is very, that's very interesting to me. Me being an athlete.
Is that how you sort of put your focus or your goal together? You want to get to a point where you are on the same platform with them when it comes to acting?
You know, I just want to be, I want to be in a space where they ask me, hey man, you want to do this film with us? You know what I'm saying? And they can't, they have to, it has to make sense.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I think a lot of people have to understand that, like, you know, when it comes to friendships, like that's one thing. But putting your career and your career lifelong work on the line. For a friend is something different that you don't know is qualified or not. Right. And so I take those qualifications very seriously. You know what I mean? I don't want a friendship handout. I don't want the homie, hook 'em up. No, hit me because I'm qualified.
You want to earn it. You want to, absolutely.
Hit me because I'm a deliverer.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so that is a lot of my focus.
Wow. Well, I gotta ask you this, man, Tank. Ladies and gentlemen, we're talking to Tank. The new record, the first single was Can't Let It Show. Make sure you support the brother, get the album. When you talked about your wife, how do you deal with a relationship, brother? You're on stage and these women are falling all over you. How do you handle a relationship being that guy? Like, real talk, Tank.
I tell them no. I just say no.
Okay, I'll take that, bro.
Listen, I cannot confirm or deny that I've been a perfect man.
It's like everywhere you go, every girl wants you. They like, oh, Tank, it's just like
it's hard work, my brother. Look, it's hard work.
Get a class, brother. Let's teach a class on disciplining a brother when he's in a relationship.
See, there's that though. There's discipline.
Okay.
There's discipline, and there's a way to do things. All right. There is a way to do things, and men have to communicate these understandings to other men, so that our young men will stop falling short and falling into the same pitfalls. You know what I'm saying? We've made those mistakes. You know what I'm saying? Like, we've grown through certain things and we understand how to handle certain things. And so men have to show other men how to you're right. There needs to be a conversation about this because we never talk about it.
No, we don't.
We always just throw it under the rug.
Right.
We're always this macho thing, and it's always, guys, and we're gonna get all the girls and all that. But nobody speaks to the power of discipline. Nobody speaks to the power of honoring your wife and the blessings that the universe will reward you when you do that. Like, nobody speaks to that. So we should.
And on that note, your podcast and a YouTube channel, Babs, Babs to the Bone. Do you guys discuss that on there, or what's the whole format for that?
Babs to the Bone is we really just wanted to show like organic, cool, fun family, like minus the scripted drama and this, the setup foolishness that has plagued. When it comes to our demographic, that's what we see on TV a lot. Well, why can't we see a good family? Why can't we see, why can't we see kids going to school? Why can't we see, two parents coming to an understanding on whatever they have differences about, talking it out, not yelling and screaming at each other, not wanting to fight, not needing a bouncer to get in between. Like, why can't we show that?
I think we need it. It has to be shown.
It. Yeah, we need it. And so that's our premise behind the YouTube show. Like, let's just show them the real of like we don't do none of that. All that stuff that y'all see on reality TV, we don't live like that. We actually talk and communicate. We like each other. We have a good time. And whatever difficulties there are between us, they're organic, but it's not nothing we can't get past.
Right.
And that's what we want to show. The podcast, R&B Money Podcast, is like, hey man, I'm in R&B, man. I'm at the top of the food chain with this thing. If I can't do an R&B podcast, nobody can. Right. You know what I'm saying? And who better to talk to Keith Sweat or Pink Sweats than me?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, I am the bridge, but I got my OGs. Now I'm an OG to the young, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm able to bridge the gap, and we're able to have those conversations. And me and my partner Jay, we said, let's do it, man. Let's shoot it. So we're in the process of working out a deal for our first season that we already shot.
Okay.
And hopefully y'all will get that in the spring too.
Any way we can help, man, please let us know. So, ladies and gentlemen, talking to Tank, before I let you go, hardest conversation you've ever had to have with your wife?
Woo. Whoa.
I feel like the internet is about to go down.
I won't say what it was.
Okay.
But I will say that the in terms of the conversation, the hardest part was to just say, yes, I did that.
I can read between the lines, nothing else, my man. Thank you, brother. Ladies and gentlemen, his name is Tank. Make sure you support him. First single, Can't Let It Show. Hey, man, much success, brother. When I grow up, I want to be just like you, man.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Thank you, Tank.
Appreciate you, brother.
All right, one.